Are you choosing a career that will outlast AI? Listen, in the age that we're living in, where artificial intelligence is automating everything from customer service to data entry and even content creation, as I share on my other channels, millions of people are asking the same urgent question. What jobs will still exist in the next 2 to 10 years? And more importantly, which of them will still pay good money?
Rockstar Club, that's the place to be. Level up your life, come and grow with me.
Now, what happens after 10 years is still a bit uncertain, but we have some time before we get there to ponder and to pivot. Now, what I'm about to share with you aren't things that Odetta is making up. It's based on real projections from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics and also in-depth industry analysis that was done. And I'm gonna bucket all these jobs into 6 groups or career paths that all pay a 6-figure income, which is $100,000 US a year or in that region. But all these functions also rely on human qualities that AI cannot replicate, at least today. Things like empathy, critical thinking, sympathy, judgment, and creativity, as well as complex decision making. But at the rate at which AI is going, I don't even know how long it will take for it to start mastering some of these things, which is why people are obviously afraid. But my philosophy on the matter is this: I can't control something I'm afraid of. So I'm choosing to approach it from a position of knowledge so that I can learn and eventually master to a certain extent. So if and when it becomes dangerous, I stand a chance against it, because you will not stand a chance against it with ignorance. I go back to people who, back in the day when the first computer was being created, or even when the internet came into play, where people said, I'm not going on the internet, or I'm not trying to be computer literate for whatever reason. Those people got left behind. Because the thing is, AI and any other technology, it's going to happen with or without us. So I'm not going to tell you what approach you need to take. You're an adult. You have to make the decision that's best for you. All I'm doing here today is sharing some of the jobs that will still likely be here for the next 2 to 10 years, so that if you're making a career decision, or if you're concerned that your job may not be in existence, then you have a better frame of mind going into this. I'm also going to share a second video, or I should say, tell me if you want me to share a second video of jobs that are going to be completely gone in the next 3 to 5 years. And you can tell me if you want me to share that video by writing in the comments of this video, next video. And if enough of you write that, I'll definitely share the video with all the jobs that won't be here in another few years. Now, let's talk about the jobs that will be here. And like I said, I've bucketed them. So the first general bucket is the medical and healthcare practitioner bucket. And this includes nurses, nurse practitioners, PAs, physicians, and surgeons. And the median salary range here is anywhere from $70,000 to as much as $220,000 US per year. But the projected growth in this particular group is 13 to 31%. Now let's talk about why AI can't replace these functions right now. Healthcare is deeply human, as I'm sure you know. Things like diagnosing illness, managing patient emotions, building trust with patients, and making life or death decisions under pressure, they require intuition, experience, and in some cases, empathy, things that AI lacks at this point in time. Some examples of these jobs that are still going to be here for some time include registered nurses or RNs, and they provide bedside care, administer medication, and offer health education, and they also offer emotional support to patients. They're the backbone of many hospitals and clinics. Nurse practitioners, or NPs, they have advanced training, and they actually perform duties that are traditionally done by actual doctors, to include prescribing medication, managing chronic conditions and ordering diagnostic tests. Physician assistants or PAs, they're also going to likely have their jobs for some time to come. They diagnose and treat illnesses, they perform physical exams, and they also provide patient counseling, which is something an AI probably would not be able to do right now. I can't picture an AI offering counseling. However, there are people in the world who are married. Yes, I think it's Japan, who got married to an AI. So they're providing emotional support apparently, because I can't imagine somebody marrying someone or something that's not at least emotionally connected. But to each his own. Next on the list are physicians and surgeons in this same bucket, and they're at the top of the medical chain. They're going to handle complex diagnostics and surgical procedures, as well as treatment plans. And these are not things that AI can do at this point in time. Now, the next group is technology, leadership, and security. And there's several functions that are in this particular group, and the median income for most of these professionals, it's anywhere from $103,000 per year to as much as $151,000 US per year. This field is projected to grow by 10 to 31%. Now, let's talk about why AI won't replace these jobs or this particular group. AI is powerful, but it still needs human architects, managers, and watchdogs, hence security. Complex tech infrastructure, cybersecurity threats, and large-scale system integrations, they all require human foresight and leadership. Let me give you some examples of the roles that will still be relevant even with AI for at least a few more years. IS managers, and IS means information systems. These individuals, they lead IT departments, they manage system upgrades, and they develop strategy and oversee cybersecurity protocols. Software developers, they build systems, they build websites and apps that we rely on every single day. Now, don't get me wrong, there's AI out there that I have used to write code because it can do that. But when it comes to a lot of that logic thinking, sometimes developers are still needed. So I would say it's the developers that are higher up on the scale that's most protected. For testing as well, that's something that AI can do to a certain extent, but not fully. And for creative problem solving, we still need humans to do that. Another position or job in this group is information security analyst, and they protect digital assets. They also monitor threats, and they design defense protocols to prevent breaches. Now, just to give you a fact why humans will still be relevant, cyber attacks in 2022, they increased by 38% globally. And this has resulted in a higher demand for security analysts because they're the ones who can intuitively anticipate these kind of attacks and put things in place proactively to prevent them. There's no business out there, rock stars, that can afford to go without human-powered defense at this particular point in time. Now, another group or field is engineering and industrial optimization. And this includes industrial engineers, sales engineers, construction managers, and the median salary here is anywhere from $88,000 to as much as $103,000 per year. The growth rate here is expected to be 6% to 11%. So yes, there will be jobs despite AI. Now, why can't AI replace them right now? Engineers don't just solve technical problems. They actually optimize entire systems and processes that keep businesses, factories, and construction sites running. These roles actually require hands-on field experience as well as critical thinking in very unpredictable environments. Let me give you some examples of these positions that are still going to be relevant despite AI. Industrial engineers, and they analyze and improve supply chains, workflows, and production systems. We can't automate that quite yet, at least the vast majority of what I just said. Sales engineers, and they are the ones who are combining technical knowledge with people skills to help clients implement complex products. AI is good, but it's not that good yet. And specifically, construction managers who oversee the entire life cycle of building projects, managing the teams that are building the projects, budgeting and timelines. AI can do aspects of that, but not everything in its entirety. As an example, in construction, one error in scheduling can delay a $10 million project by weeks. That's not a risk most companies are willing to hand over to a robot at this particular point in time. Now, the next group that I want to talk about is finance, risk, and a numbers expert. Positions like financial managers, accountant, auditors, and actuaries, and I've always struggled to pronounce that. But anyway, their median salary is anywhere from $69,000 to $134,000 per year, and those roles are projected to grow from 10 to 18%. Now, why can't AI replace them right now? AI can analyze data pretty well, as you have seen with tools like ChatGPT or even Microsoft Copilot, but it can't interpret it like a human being can. These roles require complex reasoning, ethical judgment, and even communication skills. And AI sometimes is still a bit robotic, even when communicating. And in instances where we're talking about people's money, it needs to be a lot more realistic than that before the average individual decides to trust AI to handle their financial transactions. Accountants and auditors, they go beyond balancing books, which is something AI can do. They offer insights that influence key business decisions. Actuarians, however you pronounce it, or actuaries, they use statistics to assess risk for insurance and financial services. And just to give you a scenario, an AI might detect a $50,000 discrepancy, but a skilled accountant will spot a fraudulent vendor scheme that saves a company millions of dollars. AI can't do that as we're talking today.